Good morning. So anyways, this is Arlene. I'm on my way to work, and I just wanted to make this short video to kind of share something that I was thinking about that I never really did think about in my poor car. So anyways, hold on real quick. I gotta get in my car. Get out safely. So anyways, I was thinking about it. I get hit, like, say, for instance, we'll start off with work. At work, I get, a variety of hits, electronic, harassment, indirect hits. So, like, for example, the remote hit. I know I get something from, when I was getting hit, this guy was parked over there. I don't know if he was the actual one when I was getting hit in the face, but so anyways, my question is, say I get hit remotely somewhere from headquarters on the second floor. Okay, so when I get hit there, watch, I'm gonna make let's see what happens with this car. So when I get hit there, it's coming somewhere from between 6th to the 8th floor. They've got a device in there, or a device that's at least being used as a conduit. I can't always have a hard time pronouncing that, but anyways, the people that are using it, I mean, are they being given protection? Like, what will happen to them down the line? Will they eventually, because this is being done on a daily basis, will they come down with something like cancer? I mean, what happens to them eventually? I mean, are they telling them, giving them protective wear? I was always wondering, because you are in the work environment, and then say like where I work on the 3rd floor, if they use their cell phones or they're given a device to use, say there's this young girl, she has 2 kids, she's married, young, 2 kids, okay, so she's got a little device, or her cell phone's being used. I mean, what guarantee down the line, even though it's being used like to give off microwave, because microwaves can come from your cell phone, electronic. I'm getting hit with it, but then she has to be getting a little bit of something, or it could be leaking a little bit. So what protection does she have? 5-10 years from now, is she gonna come down with cancer or some kind of disease, whether it's like something like Alzheimer or something that affects the brain? What's gonna happen to her? What happens to the guy like next to me who's got a little handheld device? Some people have handheld devices. I just don't know what kind of handheld device they have. But if they do, I mean, like, say if you're a young guy, is your sperm, affected? Are you going to become sterile later? Are you going to get some kind of cancer, environmental cancer? I mean, really, what does become of you? I mean, I don't know what they tell them, like if they go to these whatever places, like when you go to the Homeland Security website, they have these places where you have these like neighborhood watch kind of things. You know, how do you know like you're entrusting? Obviously they don't care, but what if you have a cray-cray that has a handheld device on them? You know, if they're crazy, they're not going to use sound judgment, you know, common sense either. And common sense doesn't require a degree. So I'm just curious what happens to them. Like, for instance, when I lived in Whittier, I know for a fact the street that I lived on, both people had a whatchamacallit, they both had a like a little microwave without a door. They had some kind of device like that. So what becomes of them? Like, they had this device and they were using it on me, but were they wearing like 100% protective gear? I mean, what was it that they were using? You know, you get stuff like that Jeep in the back. I don't know if you can get them in my mirror. Can't get them. That hold up traffic. So anyways, let me put it back like that. Yeah, you can get it like that. You get people like that hold up traffic on purpose. So anyways, they're a young couple and they've got a device. They had one on the first floor and one on the second floor. So, you know, to me, my question is, what becomes of them? I mean, later on down the line, I mean, they haven't had kids. Will they become sterile, come down with cancer? I mean, I'm not worried about it because I believe in what comes around goes around in karma. So, I mean, were they wearing 100% protective gear? Were they lied to and given this protective gear and saying, oh, this will protect you? Because I'm figuring sooner or later down the line, whatever project this is, they're going to be done with their business of whatever they're doing, whether it collapses or it is successful, and they have what they have. Well, they're not going to let these people just function in society knowing all the dirty deeds they did. I'm assuming they're going to become targets eventually, or their children will become targets too. But you know what? That's a sin that's on them, and they'll have to pay for that. But I just thought about that because, like, when I get hit at work, you know, it's coming through the ballast or the fluorescent tubing. I'm getting hit, but what guarantee is that it's not getting the person on the cubicle next to me, behind me, on the other side of the aisle? There's no real guarantee at all. So, you know, I'm thinking they can get something. Eventually their health is going to be infected, and if they do get sick and stuff, whoever was paying them to do the targeting, are they going to cover them on insurance? I don't think so. I think the easier way would be to dispose of them, because then you're talking about somebody that's sick and then they're going to have to pay for them. I don't think they want to pay for them. They already know the program, so they can be targeted too. And that's what I'm thinking, is that eventually they will become targeted individuals. Because, see, these people, they go so slow on the freeway, holding up traffic. Like, they don't have a care in the world. Okay, so anyways, getting back to that, I honestly think something's going to happen to them. I just can't believe that they would just, like, let them go, knowing what they know, or what it is that they've done, you know? Watch, I'm going to change lanes and see who changes lanes. That happens a lot. People will change lanes after I've changed lanes. So anyways, I'm just wondering what would happen to them. Not worried they decided to do what they do, that was on their conscience. If they had common sense, they know it wasn't the right thing to do, no matter what they were told, if it's patriotism or whatever crap they feed them. They weren't patriotic before. But if they were given money, money talks. So anyways, I was just thinking about that. Even like the waves that come from the cell towers and stuff, it's passing through people, and it's gotta be hitting them, but like, how is it hitting them, How are they being hit, and what guarantees do they have that they're protected? I've seen through my thermal imaging camera what happens to people, and I don't think I would have a hard time believing that these people are let me videotape here real quick, make sure nothing happens. I have a hard time believing that these people are not going to get infected by it. I think they're being lied to, but that's their problem. They chose that. So anyways, that's my thought of it. There's no way they could be 100% protective from radio waves or magnetic electronic waves or whatever you want to call it. I'm not into electronics. I don't know, but I do know is that over a long period of time, just like me, it'll probably affect me, but it's got to affect them too, because they're getting doses of it, even if it comes from their cell phone. It has to leak back on them. Because I've seen at work when I'm in a conference room, I've gotten hit, and I can feel like people, they feel they're getting hit, and they all look at me because they know I'm probably getting hit. But they've got to feel something. You can't just hit me and then guarantee like it's not going to travel. So that's what I'm thinking. Not worried about it, but you play with fire, you get burned eventually. So I just thought that was something interesting, an interesting thought that I thought about, and that was about it. So anyways, I need to put my sunglasses on. Hold on. Oh shit, I forgot something. So anyways, that's all I wanted to share today, this morning, as I commute to work. But it's just something I was thinking about. Think about it. If you're given an instrument, or you're told, you have to know. Even my relatives, whether they have a little device in their purse or they've got something coming out of their cell phone, aren't they being exposed to it the same way I am? If you have your purse under the restaurant table, and I'm feeling something, you've got to be feeling something. And if you don't, I mean, whatever it is, it's probably not healthy. If it is, so if you're being exposed to it periodically or consistently on a daily basis, just like me, something's going to give. Even if it's in your car, if your car has something, like this person just keeps, I get this, where they ride right next to you, like this one, and I guess they want to see what you're doing, so they, I don't know, report back to somebody. I'm not really quite sure. But anyways, if you have a device in your car and you're told to use it, like I've had video on my YouTube where a car did come down when I was in Whittier, down the dead end behind my bedroom, and he had something, or she had something coming out of the headlights of the car, and my thermal imaging camera caught it. Okay, so it was directed at me, but it was installed in the car, or something was done in the car, manipulated to have this. What guarantee isn't it not that it's leaking back to the driver and the passenger, if there was a passenger, and if they're doing this not only to me, I'm sure they're targeting other individuals, because there's obviously other individuals in this area. I've met people in Downey and oh God, what's that city? Santa Fe Springs or OC. I mean, so whether they have different targeters or not, I mean, I'm sure I'm not the only person they're coming down the street and trying to put directed energy at me. So, I just thought about that. I'm thinking they're going to get sick eventually, and they probably don't even think about that, maybe because they're just focused on the money. That's what I'm thinking. So, I don't know. Something's got to give eventually. Something will give. I just don't know if I'll be around to see it, but I think something's going to give sooner or later. The strap will snap. Okay, well anyways, I better focus